we are back for the second league of the day. Let us go ahead and spin the wheel and see what we hit for our second league. Spin the wheel. What are we getting this time? Darn, we narrowly played something interesting, but we're playing Merfolk instead. So, this is Merfolk, except now we're playing the One Ring, so we're playing Utopia Sprawl. So it's Merfolk, but with Utopia Sprawl, One Ring. Originally, this deck also had Kumena's Speaker in it, which is basically a 1-mana 2/2, and I was like, that card sucks. Let's not play that. Let's just jam all the lords in here, because originally it wasn't playing Lord of Atlantis. Also, there's only 2... I had to cut some stuff. I was like, how important is Merfolk Trickster? It was being played as a 4-of before. And there's 2 Phantasmal images. It's basically all in on the just every single creature in your deck is a lord. Basically, these are all lords. Then these Phantasmal images can copy your lords. Marrow Regery is a lord. And Civilin is not a lord, but close enough. And then this thing messes with lands. So yeah, Merfolk, lords. All your guys get Island Walk. This makes things an island. This counters things. This taps and untaps things, which is real good with the ring. Whenever you cast a Merfolk spell, untap or tap a permanent. Typical land base. I guess there's no Otawara in here. There probably was an Otawara and I just swapped it for Manamo. Who knows? And because you're 2 colors, you can't play as many Cavernous Souls for Merfolk. Sideboard. Chalice of the Void for Cascade stuff. Hearse and Soul Guide Lantern for graveyard stuff. Mistcaller for creativity stuff or Living End or whatnot. Vorsa Negation. Kira, Great Glass Spinner. Subtlety. All right, let's jump into the first league with Merfolk. All right, game 1 on the play with Merfolk. We have land, lord, Zvielin, ring. Kind of slow, but I guess it's keepable. Opponent mulligans to 6. I'll just play Tarn and then pass. Opponent plays Sacred Foundry, tapped. So that makes me think that they're probably elementals. All right, fetch, grab the breeding pool tapped. Then we'll take our turn. There's Hexcatcher. That's probably better than Master, so let's just play an island and pass with Hexcatcher up. Because if they play Renin 6, I just want to counter it. Urza's Saga. Okay, so it's probably Grinding Breach then. All right, flash this out. So drops Violin, and then... yeah, so let's just attack. Swing with Hexcatcher. Opponent takes 1, down to 19, and then let's fetch out another island and place Violin. It resolved instantly, so I guess they don't have any interaction. Urza's Saga up to 2. And then next turn, instead of playing the ring, I'm probably just going to go Lord, and start beating down really fast. Snow Mountain. So they're just going to make Constructs. That's fine. Marrow Regery. Now I'm still just going to go Lord. So shock this in. Play Master. Play Phantasmal. Copy Pearl Trident. Combat. Swing. Opponent makes a Construct. Sure. We drew Utopia Sprawl off of that Zvielin trigger. Alright, well, we can't do anything else, so pass. So they're making another Construct. And then fetching what? Springleaf Drum. Alright, yeah, they just don't have anything. Sideboarding. So I assume they're Grinding Breach, so that means I want Graveyard Hate. What does this do exactly? If a non-token creature would enter the battlefield and it wasn't cast, exile it instead, so that doesn't work. Force Negation, Chalice, like there's a lot of stuff that's probably good here. Merfolk Trickster is not good. And we don't really need to copy any of their guys. So we can cut this. So Chalice on 0 prevents them from comboing off. Force Negation also just forces their breaches and whatnot. Probably Chalice for 0. And then what else would I cut? Everything else is good. Probably don't need Zvielin as much. All right, submit. Game 2 on the draw with Merfolk against what I assume is Grinding Breach. All right, this is decent. We can Tideshaper down an Urza's Saga. So I'll keep this. Opponent plays Bauble, cracks Bauble, Scalding Tarn, and then passes to us. We drew the ring. All right, so let's just play Tarn, pass, Sacred Foundry, tapped. All right, fetch, grab Breeding Pool, back to us. So since they haven't played Urza's Saga, I guess we just start jamming lords onto the field. So land, fetch, grab an island, play Lord of Atlantis, and then just pass the turn. Opponent fetches, grabs Steam Vents, shocks it in. All right, so our guy's getting killed. Yep, Unholy Heat. Opponent casts Ragavan without dashing it, plays Mox Amber, plays Expressive Iteration, puts Spire Bluff in exile, plays Spire Bluff, back to us. So, most mon-efficient play here is just to play Marrow Regery. All right, Marrow Regery. Pass it back. All right, Unholy Heat's our Marrow Regery. Now we get hit by Ragavan. They exiled an island. Urza's Saga. All right, so now the best play is to go Lord plus Tideshaper to eat that. So land, Tideshaper with Kicker, target Urza's Saga, which kills it. Then fetch, grab another Breeding Pool, and cast Master of the Pearl Trident, and then pass the turn. Opponent plays a Bauble, cracks the Bauble, Plays Underworld Breach. So now they can either breach back Bobble or removal spells to just kill our guys, right? So yeah, they're just going to kill our guys off. Yeah, so our guys are dead. Then they get to hit us with Ragavan. We go to 10. They exile a ring, which they can't play. Then Breach dies. And they're left with only one card. Well, the 2 cards in their hand with the Bobble trigger. All right, let's just play the ring. Resolve the ring. Draw a card. Play this tapped. Pass it back. 4 different colors. Oh, they have Prismatic ending for our ring. Prismatic ending our ring. Saga. Well, we can kill that as well. So let's go Reejerey. Then this with Kicker. Trigger this. Untap a land. Then resolve the Tide Shaper. Eat your Urza Saga. And I could play this Boseiju to play Hex Catcher. If I don't play it, I get to... It's probably better to just play Boseiju out at this point and be able to flash in Hex Catcher whenever. So pass it back to them. It's tempting to save it for like a Breach or something, but then I'm just not... Plays Oracle. All right, so they just don't have anything in their hand, so now they're just digging for stuff. Of these decks so far, what decks have you enjoyed? Have you enjoyed or were more fun than you expected? So a lot of the like super linear combo decks were a lot more fun than I expected, like Calibrated Blast, for example, where you literally just do the same thing every game. It's practically a no-brainer. I think decks like that would get boring after a while if you played them multiple times, but at least for the first time, they were pretty fun. There were also decks that I expected to be worse than they were that performed better. All right, so they can't block, so we can just attack with everything, but then they can attack back with Ragavan. So let's just attack with only these 2. Swing, swing. Wait, they can block? Oh, right, I don't have a Merfolk Lord in play. What am I thinking? I have this Lord in play. I don't have an Island Walk Lord. All right, play Aether Vial. Go. They can pay for that anyway, though. Like, they have enough mana that they can just pay for it. We're basically both in top deck mode at this point. All right, kill our guy. Yeah, we're both absolutely in top deck mode. So tick Vial up. We drew a ring. That is an amazing draw. Draw. We drew another Vial, so let's just play that and pass. Plays Emery, milling over the ring. Egads. All right, well, put all this stuff on the stack. Tick both of these Vials up. Drew Hex Catcher. All right, draw. So they have that. So we can play Reejerey. How much can I play Chalice for? I can play it for 3, which doesn't stop them from playing the ring. If they play the ring, then they have 4 mana left over. And this is only a Force Spike, so I can't actually... I would have to sack my entire board to prevent them from playing the ring, and then they can just play it again next turn with Emery still. Oh, I can tap it down in their upkeep, right? Whenever you cast a Merfolk. So I can go Reejerey, and then I can attack with Tide Shaper, swing, block with Oracle, it dies. And then let's stop them in their upkeep. So then let's just go Chalice for 0. Actually, no, they can just tap this in their upkeep, right? Choose target artifact card in your graveyard you may cast it this turn. Yeah, so it doesn't matter. They're fetching in response. Chalice on 0. So I should just cast this now, untap the ring. Blue, blue. Untap my ring. Draw more cards. Soul Guide Lantern. Let's go. Exile the ring. Pass the turn. All right, they did nothing, so let's activate Aether Vial. Put a Master of the Pearl Trident into play. Then all these go on the stack. All right, yeah, so we got it. On to round number 2. All right, round number 2, and we're on the play with Merfolk. Looks good to me. Keep. So Shock and Breeding Pool. Utopia Sprawl. Name blue. And pass. Verdant Catacombs for a forest. Playing Delighted Halfling. So let's see. I can just Tide Shaper that to be an island. I don't think that matters, though. Or I can just play Zviolin as a more mana-efficient play. Yeah, let's just play Zviolin. Get an island, play Zviolin, and pass it back. I don't know entirely what this is. The fact that they're getting a basic forest inclines me to believe that it's Yawgmoth, but it doesn't necessarily Yawgmoth. Okay, it's probably Yawgmoth now. Wall of Roots. So it's possible I could have taken them off green mana if I'd done that, but I wasn't sure what I was playing against. Trickster. So let's see, let's go. I think what I'm inclined to do, I'm definitely shocking this in. So I could play the ring, but I think I'm more inclined to turn this land into an island and then Trickster the Wall of Roots on upkeep. So let's attack with Zviolin. Swing. Draw a card. Another ring. No blocks. They go to 16. All right, so let's Tide Shaper, cast with Kicker, turn this into an island, then pass to the upkeep. All right, Trickster, target Wall of Roots. All right. Oh, they have Twilight Mire anyway. All right. Well, there's Yawg. And now they can machine gun our whole field with Hapatra. Yep. So now that happens. Anyway, to answer your question earlier, Alta Biscuit. So 8 rack was a lot more fun than I thought it would be. It was a lot better than I thought it would be as well. What else? Assault Loam, even though I only went 2-3 with it, I screwed up. So Assault Loam was better than I thought it would be. Calibrated Blast was a lot more fun than I thought it would be. All right, well, we can't possibly win now, right? Like, all right, ring, draw a card, Pass the turn. Oh, what else? Domain Zoo was a lot better than I expected it to be. I thought it would just be really clunky, and it is somewhat clunky, but it was better than I thought. What is this? You may look at the top card of your library. Anytime, you may cast creatures from the top. Creatures you control have tapped add any color. Grist. All right, so Yawgmoth, 1,000,000 creatures in play. We can't win. Oh, they're going to chord for Bowmasters as well? Sure, yeah. Yeah, okay. Game 2, sideboarding. So Mistcaller, definitely. What else? I want to be able to subtlety Yawg. Creatures you control have, whenever this creature becomes target of a spell or ability, first time each turn, counter it. So they have to spend more to actually target my stuff. Definitely want Hearse. Definitely want Soul Guide Lantern. What do I not want? Phantasmal Image dies with a single target, no matter what it is. Hexcatcher's pretty bad. Most of their stuff. They have Chord of Calling, but that's basically it. Everything else is uncounterable. It's also inherently a 1/1, which is bad against Orcish Bowmasters. And then, honestly, their deck is probably faster than mine, and also they have Bowmasters, and also they can still win through the Ring Emblem. So, maybe not all 4 of them, though. And Tideshaper's not really that great here either. It's good to just make a thing an island and then attack through them, but I don't need 4 of these. Game 2 on the play. All right, keep fetch and shock in a breeding pool. Play Mistcaller. Go. They make a plant. I could take them off this green. Name Merfolk. It just seems better to just deploy a Lord at this point. There's no guarantee this is their only green either, so yeah. Play Lord of Atlantis. Attack with the Mistcaller. Yeah, there's another green source, and it's also a black source. Fatal Push our Lord, and then they're just passing it back to us. All right, now I think I will take them off of that, so let's go land, cast Tideshaper with Kicker, and target this one, and then attack you. Overgrown Tomb. This Besage is pretty awkward in that we can't double Lord next turn. Fetch, grab Breeding Pool. All right, so Zviolin's better. What can they flash in? They can flash in Endurance, so it's better to just play Lord, and then these get to attack for free. Bowmasters to kill our Mistcaller. If a non-token creature would enter, target here, sack this, so they don't get their token, and then attack with the unblockable Tideshaper. I should just play this Besage. All right, pass. Forest. They still don't have the double black for Yawg. Grist. That's pretty bad. So they can sack this plant to kill our Lord, or to kill Tideshaper, one or the other. All right, which one are they killing? The Tideshaper, so we can't attack into them for free anymore. All right, land, play Master, and then let's just attack Grist, and so they either lose Grist or they have to block with the Bowmasters. All right, so they're choosing to block. I would block if I were them. Fetch, grab Island, cast Zviolin, and pass it over to them. Make a token with Grist, play Wall of Roots, play a land. So now they have what they need. They have almost what they need for Yawgmoth. This is 6. Drawing another land is bad. So if I attack them, I can't actually kill them. If I attack Yawg, I can kill, or if I attack Grist, I can kill Grist though. So it's probably correct to just attack Grist. Even if they go, they can just free block on one of these creatures, blocks Violin, and then they only take 3. So yeah, let's just attack Grist. Swing at Grist, and then draw a card with Violin. Kira's pretty good. Why would you block if it's going to die anyway? All right, play Kira, play land, go. So they can, oh, okay, they didn't chord, so they either didn't have chord or they're saving it so they can get Yawgmoth. All right, they have chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, chord calling for 4, get Yawgmoth. Well, between Kira making all of this stuff hard to target and Zviolin giving ward, I'm pretty protected from Yawgmoth's activation. So they can activate it right now, and then it just gets countered. All right, they're targeting Kira, and it gets countered. And then they're targeting it again, and then play a land. All right, and they're just conceding from this position. Sure. So sideboard games again. So if they cast Chord, I can never... Maybe this graveyard game is the wrong game to be playing. If this graveyard game matters, it means they already have Yawgmoth in play. So maybe it's correct to just try to stop Yawgmoth from being in play in the first place, which means Hexcatcher to counter Quarter Calling, but they usually have enough. I don't want Force Negation in the matchup, though. Maybe something like that. All right, submit. I'm back. What's our record? We won the first match, and we are on the second match 1-1 against Yawgmoth. 2 Tideshapers and Ring. So we can keep them off mana, maybe, or not. And then the Ring is incredibly slow. What's a better hand than this? It's like Utopia Sprawl or Aether Vial plus a bunch of aggressive Lords. I would so keep this if this were on the play. They're just going to go, like, play Monodorks, play Wall of Roots, and then these abilities aren't going to matter. I'm going to keep. Yeah, Forest Delighted Halfling. All right, so let's go Breeding Pool, play Aether Vial, and pass. Swamp, so now they have Grist mana. It's really hard to beat a Grist on the... Okay, they're not playing Grist. Good. So I assume this is Wall of Roots then. Yeah, Wall of Roots. Play another halfling. So I can take them off of black mana, but that doesn't matter because then they still have double black with the halflings. So what? It's probably better to try to take them off of this green mana, and then they only have green from Wall of Roots. So it prevents all of their other plays from being as good. Fetch. Definitely playing this with Kicker. All right, which one am I targeting? The only blacks, I guess they can't play Bowmasters if I take them off of this. All right, let's take them off the swamp. Ignoble, yeah. Have you thought of getting Motobot? Yeah, I have. I probably should. All right, no blocks. We take 2 from this. All right, and they just had nothing else to do, eh? So go to our turn, take Aether Vial up. Wow, that's pretty bad. So if I play the Tide Shaper here, then I can't Subtlety anything that they play. I need to be able to take them off of Yawg next turn. Although, no, if they had Yawg, they would have just played it last turn, right? Because they had the mana for it. So it's far more likely that they have, what, Chord Calling or something? Or they just have a Bowmasters? Well, if they have Chord, they have Chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If they have Chord, I can't do anything about it anyway. If they just draw Yawgmoth, I can Subtlety it. Alright, I'm just going to pass. Another land. Well, here comes the legendary spell. There's Yawg, so we got to pitch this. So put that back. So yeah, they're obviously just putting it back on top. They still actually have an attack here, but they're not making it. All right, fetch, breeding pool, and then we've got very little time to actually make this count. I might be taking this up to 3. I think Kira and Zviolin are important, probably. Yeah, let's put this on 3. Another land. Well, all right, play the ring. Get a land, play the ring, and let's draw a card. Another land. Wow. All right, pass it back. All right, so the return of Yawgmoth. And now they get... So at least none of their creatures have Undying. All right, they sack the halfling. Sack the halfling. Our guy dies. And they play another halfling. Another land. Tapped. All right, on the stack. Do not take up Aether Vial. We drew Zviolin. So let's draw with the ring. Man, we're just getting garbage. All right, play a land. Play Aether Vial. Play a land. Go ahead. Going to combat. Not going to combat. All right, fetch. Grab a breeding pool tapped. Activate Vial. Put Zviolin into play. So opponent has Chord for 2, so they're going to do what? Get Hepatra and just machine gun my whole board? Yeah. All right. Now it's the upkeep. So which one is this? That's this one. So take that one up. Don't take this one up. Mirror Regery. All right. So draw with the ring and hope they don't have Bowmasters, I guess. I can't imagine we can possibly get out of this situation, though. All right. There's Bowmasters. So let me go to 4 and then what? So I can play what? So, okay. Utopia Sprawl's free. So let's just do that first. Name blue. I can Trickster and Trickster something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plus I can play a land and fetch. So I can go ring, Trickster on upkeep to tap Yawgmoth down. Then what, though? Alternatively, I go Violin, Ragery, then go Trickster, trigger to untap the ring. Merfolk Trickster enters, taps down, targets Bowmasters. And then I can draw more cards. And I still have exactly enough to play another ring. All right, let's do that. Fetch, get an island, activate Aether Vial, put in Mirror Regery, cast Trickster. Target, untap the ring. Then they're just going to kill Regery. All right, untap the ring. Trickster resolves. Target Bowmasters. All right, let's attempt to draw some more cards. All right, I have to play another ring. So then they kill Trickster. Then the ring resolves. And I should draw now while Bowmasters is still offline. Draw. All right, pass it back. And then we still just lose. They have 8 cards and they can draw a bunch more. We can never get Yawgmoth off the table. Chord of Calling X is 2. Zulaport Cutthroat, we lose. All right, moving on. 1 and 1. Anyway, before we go on to the next one, finishing answering your questions all to Biscuit. Espergorios was fun. Glimpse combo was terrible, although I could have built it a little better, but I think it still has inherent problems. Hardened Scales was more fun than I thought it would be. Inverter was way worse than I thought it would be. Kuldotha Red was fun. Unctusorb was pretty fun and performed better than I thought it would. That pretty much wraps that up then. All right, on to round number 3. Round number 3, playing Merfolk. All right, this hand looks fine. We don't have a 1-drop, but what are you going to do? Keep opponent moles to 5. Yeah, the way these leagues have panned out has given me newfound respect for 5-0 results. All right, I guess I just play Tarn and then fetch a breeding pool. So it looks like Scam. Dash to Ragavan. Yep. Exiles Zviolin, so they know what we're on now. Bounce Ragavan back to their hand. All right, fetch. Grab breeding pool. I'm pretty sure I just hold up Trickster / Hexcatcher now. All right, dash Ragavan again. Do I tap this before combat or do I just let them... I guess if they have like a bolt or something. Yeah, let's just do Trickster now. I don't want them to just like bolt this and then hit us anyway. Evoke Fury. So surely they have a scam spell. They wouldn't evoke Fury just to kill this. They're going to scam it. Yeah, there we go. They exiled Blood Moon. Then Ragavan comes back. Well, Probably just playing Violin then. Or I guess I could Tide Shaper, their only source of red. That might be good. All right, so Tide Shaper, their only source of red. I still have to deal with this Fury, but it does take them off of red mana. Violin is indestructible as long as you have 2 other Merfolk, right? So, all right, definitely putting Utopia Sprawl on a land here. So let's grab Forest and then sprawl this and name blue. All right, let's just play Violin. All right, well, we obviously will not block them, so go to 8. They just have Terminate. All right, so Tide Shaper this, play a Lord, and then I have to just chump block this guy? That's awful. Cast with Kicker, target this, play this tapped. I guess I would rather trade Hexcatcher here, so let's just pass. Swing, flash in Hexcatcher, and then block there. Fatal Push. All right, well, we got to draw really well to get out of this. Double Lords, blue, blue, Lord, and then I still have to chump this. Right, block. They didn't deploy Ragavan. All right, we're dead. I guess I'm not completely dead. I can still block that. All right, well, now they can just dash Ragavan for free. Yep, there's Ragavan. Block here. Exiled Master the Pearl Trident. Drew Phantasmal Image. Let's go! Copy Fury. Kill Fury. Oh, come on. They have another scam spell. Really? Okay. Sideboarding. What do I want? This stuff to take scam BS out of the graveyard. This only works on Grief and not Fury. But you can sack it in response to Fury being evoked at the least. What else? There were removal. So Kira. This is probably going to be a pretty back and forth matchup. So I don't want Sprawls when they are... But I need Sprawls to get ahead. All right, what's bad? Trickster seems like it just sucks in this matchup, so let's cut that. Hexcatcher's okay, but not great. And what else? One of the Sprawls. Do I want Subtlety here? Not particularly. All right, let's run this. On the play against Scam, we have 2 lands. It's still so slow, though. We just have Lord, 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 Lord. All right, keep. Am I just supposed to be mulliganing until I find a hand that has either Vial or Utopia Sprawl in it? All right, play this tapped. Go ahead. Blood Crypt. Thoughtseize. All right, which of our lords do you want? I assume they'll take Violin. They took Violin. All right, there's another lord. So let's go Island, Lord. Pass the turn. Mount Doom. And back to us. All right, well, let's just play another lord. I assume something's dying. Sheoldred's Edict. Yeah, sure. And then this next lord comes out. Back to them. Fetch. Gets a swamp. Gets Season Pyro. Discards Thoughtseize Bowmasters. All right, well, we can play Regery now at least. So fetch. Island. I'm not going to attack, though, so Regery, and pass it back, and then just hope they don't have removal. Tap to Black Cleaves. Black, red. Terminate on Regery. Yep. No attacks. There's Hearse. Probably better to get Hearse out now than just commit another Lord to the board that's not doing anything. So, Hearse, and pass it back. Explosives on 2. Okay. Okay, opponent. All right, I guess I Hearse some things. Bowmasters, and I don't know. I don't think any of this matters at all, but let's just eat these, I guess. All right, these are dead. Now we get smacked for 4 by the Pyromancer and his buddies. All right, land so I can deploy 2 lords? No, Violin. They've been through a lot of removal already. Do I just play Violin? I guess so, and then it just dies to removal, but what can you do? I don't want to play a lord and then just pass and then have to play another lord next turn and pass again. More removal. And they have Void Walker. Why didn't they play Void Walker first? All right, well, now we're heavily losing this race, so... Okay, there's a land. Land, fetch, grab an island, and then play 2 lords. All right, pass back to the opponent. Another EE on 2. All right, you got it. On to round number 4. Round 4 on the draw with the Merfolk. All right, we got Sprawl, we got multiple lords and Violin. Keep. Opponent has mulled to 6. Plays Otawara as their turn 1 play. All right, Breeding Pool, Shock, cast Utopia Sprawl, Spell Pierce. All right, Prismatic Vista, so probably playing Blue-White Control. All right, Manamo, and then just play Lord of Atlantis. Opponent fetches, Island, Counterspell. All right. Opponent cycles Lorien Revealed, Watery Grave. Okay, so it's the blue-black control deck. All right. Boseiju is completely useless in this matchup, I think. So play this. Utopia Sprawl here. Naming blue. Cast Marrow Regery. All right. They just did nothing. They didn't even play another land. So if I swing with Marrow Regery and they just flash in Bowmasters, then they can just kill it for almost no cost. So I guess I just play Violin first. Then untap. I don't even need to untap this, right? Let's just tap their black source down. Counterspell and response. Sure. All right. Land and then... Oh, it untapped it instead? Did not mean for that to be the case. All right. Pass the turn. All right. Well, they still haven't hit a land. Fetch. Grab Breeding Pool. Back to us. We just have infinite lands. All right. Play Aether Vial. Pass it back. Man, isn't Bowmaster so fair? You can just never attack your opponent. All right. Aether Vial goes up. put a counter on it. All right, we drew the ring. Not that it's going to resolve. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I should play a land. All right, force a negation. Attack. Opponent cycles Lorien Revealed, and they hit their 4th land. They had a Watery Grave. Oh, they got their 4th land last turn. I guess I just missed that. And then what? Shieldred? Sure. Aether Vial up to 2. Well, I guess I can copy Shieldred. Then any removal spell kills this, so land. All right, well, if they're attacking, I have to instantly block this. Block Shieldred. Then the Shieldreds trade off. And then they just didn't do anything before passing it back to me. So let's put this on 3. We drew a ring, so let's play the ring. Wow. All right. We got through it. Blue-black control. Force in, Kira in, subtlety in. What is out? We're just going to have a long, grindy game, so Utopia Sprawl doesn't matter. Tideshaper does absolutely nothing in this matchup, so that's fine. Yeah, submit that. So is blue-black control just an excuse to run Shieldred with the ring in a control shell? Yep, that is the reason the deck exists. Well, we have 3-drop, 3-drop, 3-drop Lord of Atlantis, but I also have Kira, so let's keep. Hall of Storm Giants, back to us. All right, Misty, go. Polluted Delta, fetch a breeding pool. Play a breeding pool, untapped, play Lord of Atlantis. Opponent fetches, Watery Grave, pushes our guy, sure. Island, back to us. All right, let's just play let's just play Kira. Yeah, let's play Kira. Kira, it resolves. Pass the turn. All right, well, best move is probably just hold Subtlety up. I actually don't want to drop this Boseiju in case I want to hit Hall later. So let's shock this in, and then let's attack with Kira. Swing. Opponent cast. Subtlety. I will Subtlety that back. They put it on the bottom. All right, hit them to 15. It's their move again. Wow, they just conceded that, eh? That seems very premature to concede that match. All right, we're 2-2 going into the round number 5. Round number 5 on the play with Merfolk. Hand is... Ooh, this is rough. So we have a good start, but then we need to draw action. All right, I will keep based on the Utopia, based on the Aether Vial. Basically, we need to find the ring or just like more lords and whatnot. All right, shock breeding pool in, play Aether Vial. Pass the turn. Island. All right, tick this up to 1. Zviolin. All right, so let's just go... I guess I can just vial this in on 1. Yeah, so let's just go Utopia Sprawl here. Name blue. Then play fetch land and then just pass. And then end step will fetch Violin Tideshaper. Opponent cycles Curator. All right, we're playing against Living End. Well, not much we can do about that. Sunken Ruins. So they don't have the Cascader mana, though. So at this point, I'm just going to hold Tideshaper so that when they play a green or red land, I can Tideshaper that. Cycles Waker of Ways on their own turn. Puts another Curator in the graveyard. All right, fetch. Breeding Pool. I could start beating them in, but I think it's probably way more important to try to eat their land. All right, Aether Vial, up to 2 counters. There's Master, so let's just go Breeding Pool tapped, plays Violin, and then pass over to them. Cycle Street Wraith, plays Misty Rainforest, fetch. So now they can just fetch the green source and play Shardless. Yeah. Cycles another Street Wraith, Shardless Agent, yep. So now they get back a ridiculous amount of creatures, like actually lethal next turn. All right, Violin, Master the Pearl Trident for what it's worth. Argo, what do we draw? A land. So land, a creature, block here, take 16. We're down to 1, and then we just lose next turn. All right. Force Negation in, Chalice in, Hearse in, Soul Guide in, Mist Caller in. What's not in? Trickster, Phantasmal Image really doesn't matter. Tideshaper doesn't do anything. We do need this to be faster than them. And then what else? Gotta cut 3 cards. It's not Hexcatcher. It's not any of the things we're bringing in. It's not, let's see. So it could just be Lords. Draws cards, taps and untaps things. So just cut that. Keep all of this. All right, submit. All right, game 2 on the play against Living End with Merfolk. All right, we got Chalice. We got a bunch of stuff. Let's keep this. All right, shock this out. Play Chalice on 0. Opponent forces. That's fine. Play Soul Guide Lantern. Yeah, eat that. And then pass it over to them. Odawara evokes Grief. Okay. So I imagine they'll take what? Force Negation now, probably? Or did they just take Master so we don't have a curve? They took Force. All right, back to us. We drew another Rejury, which is not good. Play Master, and then pass it back. Opponent did not cycle anything. Forest. Back to us. We drew the ring. We still can't play anything, so let's just attack with our Master. All right, they're very, very, very slowly dying. Opponent cycles Waker. Puts Striped Riverwinder in the graveyard. Breeding Pool. Tapped. And then back to us. All right. Well, let's play Hexcatcher. All right, attack for 3. Swing. They're at 15. Cycle Stripe Riverwinder, Steam Vents, Shocked. They are just casting a Curator of Mysteries for its normal amount of mana. All right. Well, we drew an Aether Vial, which is a card we can play. So we will play that, and then we will attack with this Island Walk Hexcatcher. Swing. They go to 11, and we pass. Evoking Grief. Okay. That's fine. I imagine they'll probably just take the ring, but I'm not sure. There's an argument to taking one of the Regeries, so we can't erase them. All right. So they only have one card in hand. If they attack with this Curator, then we're winning the race against them. Force of Vigor on our two things. Well, we're going to pop this in response. Sacrifice, exile the graveyard. I guess I could sack a guy to counter that, but that's fine. I would rather just try to win the race from here. That would have meant, so if I'd countered that, it would have meant either sacking this, in which case I just have a 1/1 that can't attack into them anymore, or it would mean sacking this, in which case I would have a 2/2 that can't attack into them anymore. All right. Land, Regery, and then I can swing here for 3, and then next turn I can play the other Regery, tap this down, kill them. Combat. Swing. They really brought in Force of Vigor. I guess, yeah, for Chalice, for Graveyard Hate, that is based on artifacts. Makes sense. All right, back to you, opponent. So they're drawing a spell. If it's another Cascade spell, I can sack 2 of my Merfolk to counter it. But if it's anything else, then I'm good. All right, we won. So we're in game 3. This is all still probably correct, I imagine. All right, submit. One thing I can say about this deck is I don't agree with the basic forest and the Beseiju, because you have lots and lots of blue requirements, including many double blue lords. And I've already run into the problem of having turns where I want to play 2 double blue cards in the same turn, but one of my lands is mono green. So I don't think these belong in here. I think this should be Otawara, and then this could just be like another fetch land or another Cavern of Souls. I think there's also a strong argument that even if you're going to play this version, that you don't want Utopia Sprawl, and that it should just be Delighted Halfling, and then you can get the ring through counter spells. You can also get Zvielin through counter spells. We have Force Hearse, Regery, nothing else. Is this decent? It is turn 2 Graveyard Hate that we can eat their guys with, plus force backup for their Cascade turn. I guess it's keepable. Misty Rainforest. All right, back to us. We just drew another land. That's unfortunate. Let's go Tarn and then pass. Opponent cracks, finds Breeding Pool, cycles Riverwinder, Sunken Ruins. All right, fetch on end step, go grab a Breeding Pool. All right, let's jam Hearse onto the field. Opponent has Force Negation, exiling a Striped Riverwinder. Okay. End of turn, they cycle Curator, and they cycle Oliphant to go get another land. Stomping Ground. Opponent casts Shardless. Yep, we're going to force the Living End. Force, pitch Mirror Regery. Then Shardless winds up on the field. All right, we drew Hexcatcher. There's no guarantee that we can counter another one, though. I guess the best move is to just cast Hexcatcher now. Yeah, play this tapped, and then pass. So that if they have the other Cascade spell, but not the 4th mana, I can just counter it. And then I can always play Zvielin next turn. Cycle Street Wraith. They're lower on lands than they've ever been because of the Lord of the Rings land cycler cards. They're just going to cast Violent Outburst now. All right. Living End, sack this, counter this. Then we take 2 from Shardless down to 16. All right, nothing else to do but just jam out Zvielin, play Zvielin, and then pass the turn. Cycling Generous Ent for another land, getting a forest, playing the forest. No attacks. All right, end step fetch. Breeding Pool tapped. Back to me. Utopia Sprawl's not great, so let's just attack and see what we get. Swing. Lord of Atlantis. They're not even blocking, huh? Well, I guess let's Utopia Sprawl one of these. Name blue. And then just play Lord of Atlantis. And let's keep thinning the deck. Is there any reason to Beseiju them? They have other shocks, right? Yeah, of course they do. So, pass it back. They didn't cycle anymore either. Playing a Breeding Pool tapped. They're going to cast Grief. Casting Grief, sure. Grab our last Breeding Pool so we can just F6 through this. All right, yeah, we just have a Beseiju in our hand, so we're good. All right, another Lord. So cast Lord of Atlantis. Now both of these can attack. Combat. Swing, swing. Draw a card. Island. All right. They can't block either one. They go to 2, and then we just pass back to them and hope they don't have the Cascade spell. All right, we got there. So 3 and 2 with Merfolk. So there's obviously 2 different versions of this deck. There's this ring version, which is playing the ring, and then to support it, Utopia Sprawl to get going faster. And that makes the Marrow Regeries also better because they can untap the ring. And then there's the traditional version, which doesn't have any green or the ring, and it just plays Silvergill Adept and more Merfolk Tricksters, and that one's the more aggro version. I don't know which version is better. It doesn't really matter though, because the ring is going to get banned eventually anyway, so we'll go back to the traditional version at that point.